Okay, we're out. We're gonna do like a Red Riding Hood style themed shot with the wife and the dog. This is Ursa. She's a husky, and we got this park with a river. This is like a gravel little side. There was less water here a week ago, but we're gonna try to make it work. We're gonna use the tree to sit on in the back and try to do some fun stuff with the dog as long as she'll cooperate. So let's see how it goes. Hey, you ready?
Welcome back, everybody. This is a video that we shot and did the photos for about 2 years ago in October. I almost forgot that we even filmed it. We did some walking around on this about a week before, and the water was about 10 feet behind that fallen tree, so we were actually going to do it behind the tree. But when we came down this week, the water had crept up. We had some rain and everything else. Trying to do this with a dog is always kind of fun. She either cooperates or she doesn't. You might get 10 seconds with her or 10 minutes. And at this point, she was only a year old, so it was quite the amount of fun. What Melissa is wearing is a cloak and a like a Renaissance style dress underneath that we got from a place online. I believe it's done in Georgia. I can't remember the name. I'll throw it in the comments below, or description, whatever, wherever we got it from. The whole goal was just to take the dog out, and a lot of people think she looks like a wolf, of course, but she is in fact just a husky. We bought a black leather belt that kind of looked a little vintage. It was kind of weathered to look a little old style. Picked this spot just because the sun is to her back, and it was going down in the afternoon. Now is over to the right behind me is a walkway bridge that goes across the river over to the other trails. Yeah, and behind that was just the rest of the river. The light coming through the trees going towards that bridge really looked nice on the water, but like I said, there was people walking through on the bridge. There was some foot traffic and everything else, and a lot of people were stopping to see what we were doing. So we decided to shoot with the sun behind us again. And we kept getting clouds too, so it was kind of clouds moving in, and the sun would come out, and the clouds would move in. So it was kind of a balancing act back and forth, with the dog jumping around and looking up at the birds flying in there in the sky, and the squirrels in the trees, and trying to dig and pick up leaves, and looking at the people walking across and stopping and seeing what was up. But I think it turned out pretty decent. I'll start throwing the little slideshow of the photos at the end of the video here. It's just kind of something that we wanted to put together to see how it would turn out, and it ended up doing pretty well, except for the dog. I think she lasted about a half an hour total. That was from when we got down there till we started to back up. Now, being 1-year-old dog, she's got a little spunk to her and bouncing around, and she doesn't want to stand still. So you try to make the best of it, deal with it, and see if you can come away with something decent. I think the biggest challenge on this one, using the light, because obviously they would be dark, we're shooting with a backlit situation, is the dog being so bright white, the light reflecting off of her from the flash, and the cloak being like a darker red, and the fur being brown. It kind of matches her, but she would move. I would set the light up power wise with her maybe on the camera left, on her right side, and she would move to the center, and the light would be fine for Melissa, but then the dog would be super bright. So it was kind of back and forth. I was able to bring it down in post, and it turned out to be fine. But that is one of the challenges. You get the dog moving left and right, forward, backwards. You never know where she's going to be. So you try to wait for that perfect moment to hit the shutter and try to get her to look at you as much as possible. But birds, squirrels, people, water, 1-year-old dog. That was the challenge. One of the other things we always hope for doing photo shoots at the end of October up here in Michigan is the fall color. Now, this year was a little late, and this was the only weekend and day we pretty much had available to come out. So in post, I did change the hue of the trees a little bit to make it look a little bit more fall, just what we were actually aiming for. It's a pretty simple hue adjustment, and it turned out pretty well. You kind of got to make sure that you don't overdo it or it starts to look a little bit fake. But we did not get the background, backdrop, the foliage, trees, anything that we wanted for fall colors. If I recall, we did just come back from a UP trip on this year. So the previous week we were up north, and the next couple weekends after that, we were busy. so there wasn't really an opportunity to get back out when the colors really started to turn for us. So a little bit of post work on the color for the background to make it what we envisioned and what we wanted. We thought this was pretty much the perfect spot, but didn't get the colors. Also had some people ask me how I'm getting the monitor recording. I'm actually using my phone. There's a free app. It's not the best. It's not like it's an Animals Ninja or anything like that, but it's free. It's called USB Camera. You should download it from the App Store. I don't know if it does work on Apple or not, but this is on my Samsung phone. And you just hook up a HDMI to USB little capture card, one of them cheap ones. I think it was all of about $15. So for $15 in an app, and as long as you got a small little USB cable to hook up to your camera and you have that capability on there, you can record the screen, and it makes it pretty simple. It's pretty easy. All the images were shot on a Z9. This was I believe the first one that I had actually gotten and bought. I shot this with my F-mount 105-14 that I don't have anymore. I sold that to get a few other pieces of gear, and I think we did some of the shots with the 50mm. I'd have to check and see if it was the old 1.8 that I had, or when I sold that off I got the 1.2. Either way, they're shot with the 105 and the 50mm. Now tried to do a little bit more 105. She does prefer the look of those and something of a longer focal length. In the 50s, when we turned and got a little bit more of the river, I tried to get a little bit wider shot with the 50 because there really wasn't much room to stand back, being that the water kind of went around us a little bit and there was this little teeny path to walk back up the hill. But that was what we used, and I believe I was filming the whole thing with the 24-70, I believe, on the other Z9 sitting on the tripod. As you can see in some of the video here, I did have a backlight. I didn't know if I was going to need it, use it. I think I had it on for a couple of shots, maybe when the clouds came in and blocked the sun, but for the most part, I think it was actually turned off. I had it back there just in case we needed it, but didn't end up using it too much. We had enough backlight coming through the trees. For this one, on the log there, the fallen tree, I think the idea was just to have them both kind of lean up on there, the dog looking out, and have her look out at the same time. But as usual, getting both of them to cooperate at the exact same time, doing one looking at the camera and maybe trying to look out, didn't really work out. It was kind of entertaining anyway. And one good thing to show your client, whoever you're actually doing photos for, some of the images that you do take, it kind of, gives them a little inspiration and brings them a little bit more excitement for the shoot too. I show all of them to the wife because, of course, she's the wife. It doesn't really matter whether they're good, bad, and different, eyes closed, weird, position, pose, whatever. But sometimes she has some really good ideas. She knows what she wants. When you show her the photo, she kind of sees what we're getting, compared to what she's sitting out there for in the whole environment. She can't see what I'm seeing through the camera. So giving her an idea of what we're getting, and then she can give me a little bit direction what she's actually wanting. This was her entire idea. And of course, always take the opportunity to get a little portrait of her for her, and flip the cloak up, give it a little bit more style, and wrap her up in it a little bit.
Thanks.
Oh, cool. Hair turned out good. Yeah, it turned out. I love it.
And at this point, the dog was about done. There wasn't really much sitting around, listening, doing anything for us. It was the end for her. She's chewing on her leash, bouncing around. But we got a decent amount of photos, so we decided to pretty much cut it short right after this. There was no getting her back into sitting straight and kind of relaxing. So I'll throw up the images that we did get and what I did end up getting out of the whole shoot. I think we got 6, 7, maybe 8 total. They'll be up at the end. Mind you, this is 2 years ago, almost. Well, year and a half, year and 7 months, 8 months, something like that. So enjoy. Hope you've seen how fun it is to work with a dog, especially your own. And a little cool location here. We may try to hit this one up again and see if anything's changed out there. Thanks for watching, and the slideshow of the images we got out of the entire shoot are coming up right at the end. Stay tuned. Got a couple more videos coming, and we'll see you next time. have fun, get shooting.